Hi, I'm Mike, and today I'm gonna ride my bike 100 miles. I've been preparing for this for most of the year, ever since well, about March, and it's October now. And I decided that today was gonna be the attempt. So it's beginning of October. Usually we're much cooler this time of year. Temperatures in the 60s. But today it's going to be a nice day. It's going to be in the 80s. The only question mark I have right now is the wind. But I'm going to be riding on a rail trail to hopefully make that a little bit better. The rail trails here have lots of trees on either side usually. And so even if there's a strong wind, hopefully the trees block most of it. And so I'll be in better shape. It's also nice because the trees will block the sun. They'll give me plenty of shade and so forth since it's going to be a relatively hot day, especially for this area. So anyway, I'm about 10 minutes from Farwell, Michigan, where I'll be hopping on the Pere Marquette Rail Trail. And so, yeah, it's not too much farther. The sun just rose about 15 minutes ago, and I'm ready to get going. All right, did all my stretches. If I don't stretch, my hamstrings get really sore about, I don't know, 15 or 20 miles into the ride. And I really don't want that to happen because it hurts, and it takes about 10 miles to ride through, and that's not healthy. Anyway, I saw one other biker on the trail already this morning, and yeah, got my watch recording the ride, and also on my phone I got Ride with GPS recording the ride. Anyway, time to head out. I'm just gonna go that way until my bike computer reads 50 miles, and then turn around and come back. So why'd I pick this rail trail to ride for my first 100? I actually went through in the Komoot app and planned out a whole road-based route to take. And I thought about doing that. I was really leaning toward doing that because when you're on the roads, you kind of have a chance to see more of everything around you, as opposed to on a rail trail where like you're surrounded by trees like this. But yeah, I was riding earlier this week, and on some of the roads that actually was in my route, and decided with the amount of traffic there that I met, I didn't want to take that route for 100 miles. It's just like no shoulder in a lot of sections, which is common out here. I'm in a rural area of Michigan, and so there's a lot of roads that don't have bike lanes and so forth, and I just didn't want to risk it with the traffic. The road would probably be a little bit smoother than a rail trail would be. A lot of times rail trails, especially around here, will get these cracks going in the asphalt across the bike path, and if that happens, then your wrists just pay for it because every single bump you feel. So this trail right now is actually pretty smooth here, and the other trail I'll be on in a while is a newer trail, and it's newly paved as of the last 4 or 5 years, and so I hope that'll result in a smooth ride for most of it, at least. This reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. Follow the yellow brick road. So all these leaves are just falling. Been seeing a lot of pine needles along the section of trail where pines are on the side too. This year it's been so much warmer. that the pines are shedding their needles, or they don't go all the way, right? There's their evergreens, but they do shed needles in the fall to prepare the tree for winter. And a lot more of the needles have fallen than other leaves, actually. Made us to the town of Lake, Michigan. If you have an interest in trains, this is like rail trails are for you. Lots of the original stuff is on the trail still, depending on where you are. There'll be these posts with the letter W on them that you'll see in some places. This trail, I haven't seen them keep those, but that was where the trains would be. That's how you let the train conductors know that they're reaching a town and that they should fire their whistle. It's just kind of neat to see old stuff like that before the age of cell phones and GPS and everything else. It's not all woods on the rail trail. Sometimes it opens up like this and it's just really pretty. All right, I'm at my first rest stop in Evart. About 20 or 21 miles into the ride so far. I've been trying to make sure I eat food and keep hydrated and stuff. I probably wasn't doing that very well for the first hour or so, because you get in this habit of when you're on a normal like hour-long bike ride, you don't really need to hydrate or focus on eating too much. But yeah, after about an hour and a half in, I was realizing, oh, I hadn't snacked yet or anything like that. So I started with a salty snack. I like doing that just because, I don't know, I want my body to absorb the water I'm drinking. And so if I have a salty snack early in the day, then I make sure that my water's being absorbed as the ride goes on. Can't argue with that view. As far as what you need for a trip like this, nothing really like huge or anything. I have an endurance road bike that has more of a relaxed geometry. It's not like I'm not hunched over as much as if you were in a full-on road race type of bike. I put the extra bag on the front of my bike. That has mostly food in it for today, actually. So I packed a sandwich, and I have, gosh, a couple of things of peanut butter crackers, a couple of granola bars, a couple of fig bars, so forth. Hand sanitizer, because a lot of times the bathrooms out here are just outhouses. And then in my frame bag here, I just have my phone, an extra battery to charge my phone. Really isn't a whole lot. I mean, sure, if you're going farther, then having like more frame bags like or panniers, that's something that you'd want. But for this, partly it's nice going light too, so you're not feeling like you're pedaling like a huge pack with you, you know, especially if you do get to like an uphill. That's a struggle. So someone asked me, like, don't you get tired, like don't you get sore on sitting on a bike seat for so long? And yeah, you do, but they have the padded shorts that I've been wearing. That helps a lot. Also, every few miles when you get to a road crossing like that, what I usually do is I take that as a reminder to stand up on the bike. And then that gives me, I don't know, about a minute to like stand up, stretch out a little bit while still making forward progress. And then yeah, then sit back down and get readjusted. So That actually I found helps if I do that starting at the beginning of the day before I'm even sore. That can help a lot because it just makes it so much easier over a long period of time. There's been more sections of cracks in the bike paths here, but they haven't been too bad yet. And I've learned that if you embrace the weeds and go where there's most of the weeds, then it actually makes it a softer bump. So been doing that. Made it to Reed City. 35 miles, almost on the dot actually. Definitely something industrial be going on behind me. This is where I catch, this is where the crossroad for the White Pine Trail goes, and then that will go up toward Cadillac. I'd love to ride all the way up to Cadillac. That'd be really nice, but that's too far. That's like, I don't know, I think that's 125 miles round trip. So I'll leave that for another day. But yeah, 15 more miles until I can turn around and go back. There was a whole section of trail back there that was like all rutted up, and so I'm not looking forward to that part, but hopefully on the way up, this next trail will probably be in better condition, hopefully. So anyway, I'm gonna take a break here, 1/3 of the way in. See ya. All right, I'm just leaving Reed City now. It's nice. They had a nice area, the park where you can have a fire pit and other stuff there, restrooms and so forth, and it was good. At this point, I need to make the decision of whether or not to turn back and turn this into a 70-mile ride, or keep on going and go for the 100. I don't know why I'm choosing this as the turnaround, as the option, as the decision point, but maybe it's just because I'm switching trails now. Anyway, going for the 100. Have 15 more miles. Well, yeah, 15 more miles till I turn around and do it all on the way back. So let's get going. This looks like an old airport, but there's like a pond. I don't understand. I guess maybe the runway was on the other side. Maybe up here. I don't know. Huh. Well, this is what I like about biking. If you're just driving, there's like a really good chance that you would just drive right by that, not really even pay any attention to it. But on a bike, you just get to see everything and see the world at 15 miles per hour, so to speak. And I really enjoy that. I've been on this highway before. It's Highway 131, going north out of Grand Rapids, up toward Traverse City. I never realized there was a bike path here. Totally drove right by without even realizing it. It's really cool. I mean, there really are a lot of bike paths in the state of Michigan. It's a really kind of an outdoorsy state. I gotta say, it's getting hard. The last several miles have been really smooth, really beautiful path. Yeah, there's a lot more leaves here than a lot of the other areas, but just real nice. But man, it's just ever so slightly uphill, and the wind's not always at my back. And I'm just like keep looking down at my speedometer, and just like, all right, 6 more miles to go. Look down again, 5.5 more miles to go, 5 more miles to go. Right now I'm at 4 3/4. I'm at 46.25, and I wanted to build an extra mile in just in case. And it's hard. just like it's going very slowly. I'm hoping that on the way back down from this, it'll be easier. It's getting closer, but 4.5 more miles. Keep going. This trail, I swear, it's just absolutely gorgeous through here in fall. You can hear the wind going through the trees. It's really peaceful. I wish I was riding on this trail all day long. This has been really nice. I'm definitely gonna have to come back here and do this sometime. Maybe start in Reed City and then head up to Cadillac or Traverse City or whatever. It's just a real nice trail. All right, I'm calling it. This post at mile marker 79. I don't know, maybe 79 miles from Grand Rapids. That's my best guess, because it's increasing going north. Anyway, I'm 50.98 miles in. 51, pretty much. And let's see here. I've had 500 feet of elevation gain. I'm at 1276 feet above sea level. So I started at 950. So hey, it's gonna be mostly downhill going back. Hope the wind's not too bad, but so far it looks like it's all right. But anyway, a friend of mine once said, if you can bike 50 miles, you can bike 100. And I really hope he's right, because I'm 50 miles from my car and I need to get back there. So anyway, let's turn around, head back to Reed City, then head back to Farwell and on the other bike trail. See ya. This is where things are getting tough. Sure enough, as soon as I'm back in open area, heading south right into the wind, and it's like 25 mile per hour gusts. So just thinking small, trying to get as low as I can. Be nice to have some of those triathlon handlebars in the front right now, but I don't know. Just keeping on trying to go. Somehow I'm managing to stay above 10 miles per hour, which is not bad. It must be because I'm going downhill very slightly. That's the saving grace right now. I have about 3 or 4 more miles till I get back into Reed City. And at that point, I'll change directions to be riding east instead of south. And so at worst, this will be a cross breeze, crosswind instead of a headwind. Oh man. You know, I was looking up last night, like, how do you know when you can have all the training in the world, but like, how do you know if what you're doing is like too much? And I asked ChatGPT, of all things, to see what it came up with, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with its answer. But the sentence that stood out to me is that if you're questioning whether you want to quit, then keep going. But if you're questioning whether you need to quit, then it's time to evaluate. The difference being that if you feel like you might need to quit, is that that's something that's out of your control, or maybe you have some kind of injury or something. It's not just that you don't want to do it, but that there's some health issue keeping you from doing it. And I like that. I don't want or need to quit right now, but I like that answer as a way to tell whether or not you should keep going. Even though it's windy, man, is it a gorgeous day for a bike ride. Just gotta keep the positive vibes. Let's go. Made it back to Reed City, and I just stopped for about 20 minutes to use the bathroom, eat some, well, lunch. I guess at this time it's practically dinner. Let me check the time. Yeah, it's 3:45. Yeah, it was nice. Packed a sandwich though, get some extra carbs, get some protein. 72 miles in, and I finally feel like I can have a little bit of a tailwind on me. Gusts have died down, and now I really don't feel like I'm going into the wind at all, which is great. Makes it so much easier. Now the only mental block is getting all these like cracks across the asphalt. I know that this section of trail will be like this for another 9 miles or so, and then after that it'll be much smoother. So just have to get through about an hour of this, maybe a little less. So can't ask for much else on the ride right now. I know that there were definitely some hard parts with the wind before, but yeah, overall this day is has been really nice, and I know in my head that I can make it, which is even better. It was really amazing. Just about a minute ago, I was riding and saw these birds up ahead, and as I got closer, realized it was 2 bald eagles. They were out hunting for the evening, I guess, and yeah, I just got to watch them. I knew I wouldn't be able to get the camera out in time in order to really be able to capture it there, especially with the GoPro being such a wide angle. You wouldn't have been able to see it anyway, but it was pretty cool. Decided just to enjoy it. The other interesting thing I saw a while back was is that the Amish actually use this bike trail too, with you know, horse and carriage. I was not expecting that. I knew that this part of the trail, it was okay to be used as an equestrian trail, but I assumed it was all people just horseback riding for recreation and not Amish for transportation. But that was kind of neat. Anyway, I'm glad there was plenty of space to get around. Actually, they pulled over on the grass, which was nice, you know, to leave room for me to go on the other side. So anyway, 84 miles in, keeping going. I think I understand what my friend meant by if you can run, or if you can ride 50 miles in a day, then you can ride 100 miles in a day. The thing is that whenever I ride 50, 60, and then the 75-mile ride I did 2 months ago, I get into this groove where the thing is you have to kind of limit your speed you gotta be really careful about how much you exert. For me, I need to make sure my heart rate's in zone 2. If I'm in zone 3 for a long period of time, then I'm gonna start running out of energy fast. And that's the biggest difference, I think. There's a bigger difference in going from a 50-mile ride to a 75-mile ride than a 75 to 100. Because when you're doing a 75 or 100, you're in the same mindset. You gotta limit your speed from the very beginning, even though you're like excited to be out and going up against this big goal. And this morning, all I wanted was to charge at it, conquer it kind of thing. But I had to hold back. I had to slow down, way down, to keep my heart rate down in order to make it. Because if you charge it, then you're gonna be feeling it after 30, 40 miles. So, but what I learned when practicing, when training for this, on 60 and on a 75-mile ride, is that really, as long as I stay in zone 2, keep my heartbeat, for me, that's keeping my heartbeat below 140 beats per minute. And I can basically, like, assuming flat ground or rolling hills, I can ride all day at 11 or 12 miles per hour. And so then the difference between the 75-mile and the 100-mile is just making sure that you can use that extra time. So for me, that was making sure that I had more food on me, because I'm gonna be out for a longer period of time. I need to make sure that I stay hydrated for a longer period of time, because if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't eat, if you don't drink, and you're on a shorter ride, most of the time that's fine. But on a 100-mile ride or anything up near this way, that can end your day. So I guess that's what I'll say, is that I agree with my friend. If you can make it 50, then you can make it 100. Just pace yourself. And if you pace yourself and you have a long enough day, then you'll make it. So yeah, I'm at 91 miles now. I expect that my total ride length will be about 102 miles. And I have an hour and 15 minutes before sunset. I think I'm gonna be good. And you will be too. So let's finish this up. 100 miles. Heck yeah. That is awesome. Just before the sun, well, the sun is probably setting right about now. Anyway, I have like a mile or two left to get back to the parking lot. Oh, yes. Did it. What a long day, but man, it feels so good. Oh man. Will I ever do it again? I don't even know. Maybe, but man, I don't know. I enjoyed the 50 and 60 mile rides. That's a good length of ride. It's enough to get out, but it's not an all-day thing. But man, does it feel satisfying to have a century under the belt. One of my college roommates way back in the day, he did this like a long time ago. Like, must have been 20 years ago now. He did a century ride, and I didn't even know that was a thing. It was just like, how can you bike 100 miles in one day? And here it is, 20 some odd years later, more than 20 years later, and I did it. Excellent. All right. Well, the rest of the trail is gonna be pretty anticlimactic, but yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you stayed this whole time, man, it's gonna be cool just looking back at this later on, I'm sure, for me. So anyway, mission accomplished, goal accomplished. So much training. What will we do next? Something. There's always better stuff to do out there. Anyway, see you later. Peace.